There is a strange mistake that many good and hardworking people make. They don't fail because they lack ability. They're not broke because they lack opportunity. They simply don't allow themselves to want more. They tell themselves, I don't need much money. I just need enough to live. Wealth isn't for people like me. It sounds humble, it sounds virtuous, but sometimes it's just fear wearing a very beautiful mask. This is the story of a woman who lived her entire life at the level of enough, until one day she realized that enough was quietly taking away everything she truly loved. In a coastal city where small cafes lined the stone streets, there lived a woman named Lina. Lina was 34 years old. She worked as a manager at a small old bookstore. Her job was quiet, predictable, low pressure. Every morning she opened the shop, dusted the shelves, made herself a cup of coffee, and greeted familiar customers. Her income was enough. Not abundant, not lacking. A small rented room, an old motorbike, simple meals, and Lina would always say, I'm happy with this life. But deep inside, she knew that wasn't the full truth. Lina had a dream she never told anyone. She wanted to open her own reading space. Not just a bookstore, but a place where people could come to read, write, share, and grow. A warm place, filled with light. A place that felt like belonging. She had imagined it for years, but every time the idea appeared, another voice would whisper, You're not good enough. You don't have the money. What if you fail? Stop dreaming. Stay safe. And so, she folded her dream away, like a book she never finished reading. One afternoon, as the sky darkened before a storm, an older man walked into the bookstore. He wasn't like the usual customers. He wore a worn-out coat, but his eyes were sharp. He didn't ask for anything. He simply walked around, slowly. Then he stopped in front of Lina and asked, Do you have any books about unlived lives? Lina blinked. What do you mean? He smiled gently. Lives people could have lived if they had been braver. That question stayed with Lina long after he left. A few days later, the man returned. This time he sat down and said, You seem like someone who loves books, but you are not someone who is living your life fully. Lina gave a small laugh. I'm doing fine. He shook his head. Fine is not living. Then he asked a question she couldn't answer right away. If you weren't afraid of failure, what would you do with your life? Lina went quiet. After a long pause, she whispered, I would open my own reading space. Then why haven't you? Lina looked down. I don't have money, he nodded, then asked. Or is it that you don't have courage? The question made Lina uncomfortable, but she couldn't deny it. The man's name was Victor. He used to own a small chain of bookstores before retiring. Over the next few weeks, he began visiting more often. Not to buy books, but to talk. One morning he said, Money is not your problem. Lina frowned. But I don't have money. Victor shook his head. No, your problem is, you're afraid of becoming someone who has money. Lina laughed, but it didn't feel right. I don't think that's true. Victor looked straight at her. If you truly wanted more, you would have found a way, but you didn't, because deep down, you believe wanting more is wrong. He took out a notebook and drew 2 circles, one small, one large. This is your current life, he said, pointing at the small one. This is the life you could have, he pointed at the larger one. What do you think is keeping you here? Lina answered. Money? Victor shook his head. Beliefs, he continued. You don't lack money, you lack the ability to create money, and that ability only shows up when you step outside your comfort zone. In the months that followed, Victor began guiding Lina, not with complicated theories, but with simple questions. What do people need? How can you help them? What are they willing to pay for? How? Lina started observing. She noticed that many young people in the city wanted a quiet place to study and work. Cafes were too noisy. Libraries were too far. So she tried a small idea. Every evening after work, she opened a small corner in the bookstore for people to come and read or work. The fee was low, barely enough to cover electricity. First week, 3 people. Second week, 6 people. 1 month later, 12 people. But it wasn't easy. Some days no one showed up. Some people complained. Some nights Lina wanted to quit. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Victor said only one thing. You're learning, not failing. So Lina kept going. She improved the space, added better lighting, more tables, small sharing sessions. Slowly, things began to change. 1 year later, Lina was no longer just a bookstore manager. She became the owner of a small reading space, full of life. Not big, not luxurious, but enough to earn her 3 times what she used to make. More importantly, she was living the life she once only imagined. One evening, Lina asked Victor, "Why did it take me so many years to start?" Victor smiled gently. "Because you thought money was the goal. But money is only the result. What you really needed to change was how you saw your own value." He added, "Most people are not poor because they can't make money. They are poor because they don't allow themselves to become someone who can." Lina sat in silence. She remembered all the years she said, "I don't need much." But the truth was, she did want more. She just didn't dare to admit it. If you're listening to this story, ask yourself one simple question. Are you living inside the small circle or stepping into the larger one? Money is not evil. It's not noble either. It's just a tool. But fear around money can quietly control your entire life. So the real question is not, should you want more money, but what will you lose if you never change? Because sometimes the price of playing safe is not losing money, it's losing the life you could have lived. If this story speaks to you, write one simple sentence: I choose to grow, and start today. Not big, just real. Don't let fear decide your future. You are capable of more than you think.